Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Continuing on my second year of high school. So as I told you the last day of Form 1, grade 8, they moved me to I was promoted into another class, or like a higher class with Chantel and the other girls. So the first day of Form 2, we get there, the class is dirty. So people they sweep the classroom, right? And they push all the dirt to the back. Imagine they push all the dirt to the back. So since we were late, we just got there. There were no more seats to sit on. Don't mind what's on my face. I was experimenting something. So we get there. The only place to sit is in the back. So we looked for a desk. There weren't any. They didn't even leave us any like decent desk or decent chairs. That class, guys. We're now in 2K. So we had to sweep the class, and then after we had to look for desks. So we agreed with Chantel that she'll sweep, then I'll what do they call it? Scoop up the dirt. And then she looks for desks, and I look for chairs with our other friend at the time. We agree. Everyone is just looking at us weirdly in that class. Everyone is just glaring at us, and I'm like, why are they looking at us like that, as if we're the only ones who were promoted into this class when there are also other girls that were promoted into that class? But we were just getting those haughty looks. It was challenging, honestly. But we got to a point where we were like, honestly, there's nothing we can do about it. These people, they don't like us. As if that's not enough. There was a class captain. We called them class captains at Ruzi. I don't know why. Instead of class monitors. Every time we were on the noisemakers list, guys. Like if the noisemakers list didn't have my name and these other four girls on the list first come, it was fake. It was really bad. Not pretty, we wouldn't make noise, kabat. The fact it was the person has like a certain like way, the way she like writes down the names. It was honestly quite disturbing to me, Shango. So considering that we were the ones who were used to like tell the class captain who to write on the noisemakers and stuff. It was a challenge. So we were like, since you guys want to act all holier than thou, act all sister holy, like we will make noise and you won't do anything about it. Considering they didn't hit us at our school, and that was the only thing that made sense to us. But it was bad. Like it got to a point we would make noise to the point where like our form teacher, she went to tell the headmistress that these people should be removed from this class. They were disrupting other children who are here to learn. So eventually we got used to it, but honestly, in that class we were abused pro max. But we would make noise. Then we had other friends. Considering we were now like getting used to the school and stuff, we had other friends from the opposite school, which was a boys' school. So we planned with our friends. We were like, guys, we should go to a photo shoot. A photo shoot. Tell me why we're going to a photo shoot with school uniforms. And we go to an all girls school and we're going to the photo shoot with boys. Okay. So we go to the photo shoot. There was this other girl that was dating this other guy. Then the rest of us we were just friends, like just normal friends. What happened was there were days that we would walk from school to town. I know that sounds somehow, but we would walk from school to town. We called it kustepa. So stepa kuchikoro kwenda town. So then as we would step, right, we just see boys coming to talk to us. So eventually we were like friends and others would date. And they're like, we should go to a photo shoot. I think the couple is the one that Honestly, it was a long time ago, but I think the couple was the one that insisted, and then Chantel was like, "Ah, if you guys are going, then we should also go, like as a friend group." Then we were like, "Ah, that's cool, okay, we'll go." Then we went, Chantel, Makanaka, we went to the photo shoot. We get there. The girl that's in a relationship, she recognizes the photographer. She's like, guys, I'm cooked. Because this photographer knows my mom, and yeah, a lot happened. Then we go to the photo shoot, get nice pictures. It was a Friday. Tell me why before Monday, the photos they had already leaked. I suspect there's this one specific guy that I suspect that leaked the photos, but hmm. So then people in our class were like, "Oh, so you guys went to the photo shoot? You didn't even invite others?" We tried to explain, no, we were invited by the couple, considering that we're her close friends. And they're like, we'll see. They were started threatening us. Imagine, started threatening us. We're gonna tell the headmistress that you went to the photo shoot with boys, guys, and we're like, there's no way out of this. We're going to get suspended. If this gets to the headmistress, we're gonna get suspended, guys. How we're cooked. And that's what my one. For those 2 weeks we were kind of like on the low. We wouldn't make audit. We would never stop making noise. But we were like make noise on like a lower level. And we would make noise. No, we wouldn't make noise. We were on the low. Then one day there's a function at my school. It was a Friday. So the music department had a function. It wasn't really a big function. It was just like so we stayed for a bit, right? And then we started going back and forth, like in the gate, then out the gate, in the gate, out the gate. Then this other girl says, "You guys, there's these girls that we're talking about. You guys, they said that they want to tell the headmistress about your picture. If I were you, I would go home right now. Otherwise, I don't think this Friday is gonna end well for you." And that day, honestly, I was genuinely, I was scared. I admit I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, if this gets out, we're cooked. Imagine. Um, how exactly do I explain that I have pictures with this guy, but we're only friends? Honestly, in Africa, how do you explain having pictures with a guy and you're only friends? How do you explain that to African parents? How do you explain that to African teachers? So then how we went home, we're like, guys, should we go to school on Monday? We can't risk her being called out on assembly. So we're like, honestly, guys, let's just face the consequences to our actions. So then we agree that we're not gonna miss school. Whatever happens, happens. We are friends. We stick together. Tinodak Batana. Tinodak Batana means we're promoting unity. Yeah. And after that, as if after the whole photo shoot drama. So then we were now focusing on school a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. We were putting more effort in school. We just go to school, mind our own business, practicals, computers, stuff like that. So then in Form 2, we did commerce, right? Then our commerce teacher, he was also a computers teacher. He was like, you guys, I saw your pictures, Kat. I'm going to give you guys presentations. If you fail those presentations, there will be consequences. So then we're like, me and my friends are like, hey guys, this teacher might you might send our pictures to like the headmistress. Let's give this presentation our all. Let's like try to ask him to not do it. So we agree. Like, we're working on our commerce presentation. We're working on our commerce presentation. So what happened was every lesson a certain group would present. So by the time our group was supposed to present, and we sort of like, I think the person we gave the presentation papers, the presentation cards, like, because obviously some of the things we had to read off the cards. I think she lost them. So then I was like, "What do you mean you lost them?" She's like, how was I supposed to keep a presentation from like 4 weeks ago?" So I'm trying to think that how are we gonna present in the next 10 minutes? And this girl lost our presentations that we had aced and researched, and I was honestly can't. So then we tell Faye that our presentation, considering that you gave us a presentation a few weeks ago, we didn't bring, we lied and we said we didn't bring the presentation papers. Then he said, "That's not my problem. Yeah, it's a problem. You're trying to do a presentation. That's not my problem. What I want to see is the presentation, guys." So then I'm like, okay, let me try, guys. So I go with the textbook, and I'm trying to read the textbook, right, because I'm trying to present so that this we don't get into trouble. One, for not presenting, plus two, we had our own issues that we're trying to escape. I'm reading. Tell me why this girl is whispering someone's name in my ear. So then we start laughing as a group in front of the whole class. Ah, yeah. And Say was like, "Mukita Shukutambani and Anditi, everyone, all of you, get out." So as we were about to like go to the next class, then it was like, "Where do you think you're going? I want you guys to kneel in the corridor and start catching." No, in fact, he didn't say catch butterflies. He said, "I want you guys to do what the Muslims do when they are praying. And if you don't know how to do it, we're going to the headmistress." We're like, we're trying to plead. Yes, we can't do that. Everyone will see us in the corridor, and it will even make the situation worse. And it's like, that's not my problem. So then we spend the rest of the lesson in the corridor, not learning, but we were doing what we were told to do on our knees, guys. And it was cold. I remember that day very well. It was very cold. And from there on, I was not trusting people with my presentation plan because I learned the hard way. Moving on. As if that's not enough, we would go for practicals for 4 periods. 4 periods. My practicals, guys. 4 periods was it was honestly it was a lot. It was a lot. So every time we would come back from period, come back from practicals, come back from practicals. There was a fight. Imagine every Thursday there's a fight. Every Thursday there's a fight. And you would think, considering it's a girls' school, people wouldn't fight. Or the fights would be like just verbal fights. No, people were throwing fists. That's cool, ka. So one day our fashion teacher wasn't there. And we were like, today we'll see. Hopefully there won't be any fight. Guys, that day I witnessed a fist fight. A fist fight. Even Vakarovane. If I didn't know better, I'd say they are. How do you say mangoromira in English? Okay, I would say they're not normal, but they fought. Vakarovana, and they slapped. Honestly, I was just hiding in a corner. I was like, "Guys, please, 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 please," because honestly, the fight was so bad. They started throwing chairs at each other. They started throwing backpacks at each other. And you're like, "Hey guys, why are you doing this?" Fight. And no one stopped the fight. Not a teacher, not a prefect, not even the class monitor. Everyone was like, "Please, we're not getting involved." And after fight, and everyone was like telling people that were at the practicals, "Huh? Today I witnessed the fight. Today I witnessed the fight. I don't know why we were even happy that we witnessed the fight. Because maybe because we were tired of hearing that, oh, so and so is fighting. And you're like, ah, why are people always fighting when you're not there? So people were happy that they witnessed the fight. Then the girls started threatening each other. Yeah. And the girls started threatening each other. I want to catch you at the gate where no one is watching. No one can punish me or expel me from school. Huh? So we are waiting for home time. Home time, Yashika. Everyone. I don't know how and news traveled so fast at that school. All the grades are waiting at the gate. Sorry guys, I lied. What happened was there's this other girl that it was a Wednesday. Wednesday. We had sports on Wednesday. They fought. Bakarwa. They fought at the bus stop. Then another girl tried to intervene. So her trying to intervene, that was what fueled up everything. Thursday, two other girls fought. Then she tried to stop the fight again. Then people were like, who do you think you are? Why are you trying to stop people from fighting? We're gonna catch you at the gate. Catch you at the gate. Imi. I look so scary in this makeup, but I can't take it off because my lips and skin will start peeling. So then they promised, like a buka mate, like they promised that we're gonna beat you up at the gate. So how we are there, we are just waiting at the gate. We're waiting for this girl. So this girl, she had an attitude. She had an attitude. If you ask me, I wouldn't say that she deserved all the way they beat her at the gate, but she deserved something. We are waiting at the gate. People are like, they're singing her name. Garo, we beat her up. Oh God, I miss Form 2. Form 2. Oh my gosh. Then this girl, she's coming. She's coming. She's coming. She's coming. Then there's this other girl that was she was a dancer. I don't know what happened. I think she sort of like started it. What happened was that she was confronting her, right? Then she was like, huh? Why is it you feel like there's a need for you to intervene when people are having their argument? Why don't you just leave them fight and it? I can't remember what she said, but all I know is that before she finished the first two words she wanted to say, everyone was beating her up. We used to go to school. We would wear pinafores, right? And then we would put on a belt with the pinafore. Everyone was taking off their belts. They were beating her up. What for? I've never seen something like that. Honestly, that school traumatized me. And I'm just standing near the bin, watching with my friends. I'm like, wait and see. When they are asking about the culprits who beat her up, if they mention me, if they mention my name, van vakamurova msikana yuka, we're gonna fight. This girl goes to report after everyone beats her up. Honestly, it was scary. We beat her up. So what happened was I had a friend. She was holding a big stick, but she got there when everything, Jatopera, everything was, people were like, had already dispersed. And I see this girl, I'm like, where were you, bro? It's like, oh, I was doing my corrections. I had tons of corrections, guys. I'm failing my practical. And we're like, oh, that's unfortunate. You gotta work hard. Then we're telling her, that girl, she got beat up. You should have been there. Then she was like, wait and see. The first person she's gonna say that beat her up is me, you, and you. Me, you, and her. Who's sending me that email? Anyway. I'm like, they mustn't try it. And I was like, they mustn't try it. They mustn't try it. I was just watching her. There was this other tall girl that beat her up. I swear that one slapped her like 5 times. It was traumatic. It was traumatic and sort of like funny at the same time. And maybe I'm toxic, but I found it sort of like funny. They beat her up. Because if I think about it, the girl goes to report. So I think the deputy headmistress, she was like, when she reported, right? They said go report at the police station, considering that the fight happened outside the gate. But the gate was just like here. The school was here, and people beat her up at the gate. Then they're like, it's not a school matter, considering it happened outside the gate. I think it was because also the teachers were complaining about her attitude too. So the teachers and the deputy headmistress didn't do anything about it. But unfortunately, she was dealt with. If I was to go back to that day, I would help her. Just kidding. Anyway, then she comes back with her parents. I don't know why we weren't like go on our way home. Why we were waiting? Because she lived like close to the school, but she came back with her parents, and we were still there. I don't remember, but obviously, if someone went home and came back with their parents, time ningiyafamba. Forgot. Then they started saying, you guys, you're cooked. You're gonna get arrested. And I'm thinking, arrested? What do you mean arrested? Yeah, that's a criminal offense. Why were you hitting her? Yo, so this girl, there were girls that went to report with her. They're the ones that were saying, oh, Amanda was there, Shanti, and these other girls. So we were just watching. We were always being accused of things we didn't do. Anyway. So then they were like, prepare yourselves. You're going to get arrested. Then this other girl was like, it doesn't even matter. If we get arrested, they should just give us a desk and a bottle so that we we'll just be beat making in the cell. Honestly, everything was a joke to us, to think of it, because how exactly do you explain us being threatened that we're gonna get arrested? And the first thing that comes to our mind is beat making. Moving on. So as in our class, right, we had this other science teacher we didn't like. She was very forward and very selective. So obviously, but to think of it now, obviously she would like give us an attitude because one, we were noisemakers, two, we didn't write notes. So there's this other day she just started asking for her notes out of nowhere. And she was a student teacher too, so we were sort of like, you're just a student like us. Why are you like this? Why are you like so serious? You need to relax. I remember there's this other girl that said, be careful that we fail, everyone in this um class fails. She said, imagine twist. Imagine telling a student teacher that, be careful, we can all just fail because we're all school kids. That was so rude. That was so rude, mean, rude and crude. Anyway, so that teacher, she starts saying, today, she comes to our class in the morning. Imagine. And science was always after lunch. Today, I want to see all your notes. Palestine. This was Tuesday. We're like, we'll see about that. Tuesday. So now it's time for the science lesson. the science lesson. This woman, she's coming. She's like, today we're not learning. Today I'm inspecting notes. And I'm looking at my notebook. I'm three chapters behind. But all my exercises were up to date. But I'm 3 chapters behind in notes. My other friend is 3 chapters. Is she's like almost like 5 chapters behind. Then Chantal was the one who had notes. So then she was like, guys, let me show her my book, right? Then I'll pass you the book through the window. So then Chantel shows her the book. I go second. I show her the book. Then she's like, is this your book? And I'm like, yes, ma'am, it's my book. Let's see the name. I'm like, ma'am, time. I want to go home. I was like, right. So now we're waiting for our other friends that we went home with. So as we were trying to pass them the book, then the teacher was like, if Papa will get away from that window, what are you trying to do? You guys go home now before I call the principal. Everything was just, before I call the principal. Before I call the So then we're now like, we can't leave our other friends in there, right? So then we started coding them. Guys, just jump out the window. Eventually they jumped out the window and they ran away. We're like, honestly, we'll see what she'll do about it tomorrow. After all, how many times can she go and report? And honestly, it's I don't know why we were telling each other that it's her fault that we're not writing notes. Anyway, Wednesday we didn't do science. Thursday we're like, guys, with the stuff we pulled on Tuesday, I don't think we should go to class today. Coincidentally, if that makes sense. Coincidentally. No. Sorry. No, it's coincidentally. The people, our friends from the next class, they were they were singing. Then we were like, guys, it's almost Friday anyway. Let our Friday start early. So then we banked science so that we could go sing with our other friends. Then we started singing. I felt that day. It was the best day I had in high school. That day we sang, we danced, we did almost everything we were supposed to do. I took videos. Some of us were on top of tables. We were having the time of our lives. Guys, when it was 3:40, 5 minutes before the bell rang, then the principal points at that class. Coincidentally, there's this other girl. Let's call her Tina. So what we would do, we would dance, go out of the class, then come back in like sort of like it's hard to explain. We would dance. Then others would go dance in the corridor and they would be stomping their feet. Others are shouting, yo, 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 it was it was fun. And he would sing. Then she looks down, right? Because our classes were upstairs. Then she sees the principal pointing at our class. Then she comes back running. She's like, guys, we are in trouble. Tirpama one. Miss. Then she's like, guys, Tirpama one. Yeah, Miss Nube, she's pointing at our class. You didn't hear that. She's pointing at our class, guys. We're cooked. We're gonna get suspended. Tomorrow I'm not coming to school. They were like, no, guys. If anything happens, we should all be there. Everyone must come to school tomorrow. And it was the weekend before exams. Sorry, like 3 days before exams, because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, it was a Thursday, guys. Thursday. So everyone runs away. We just disperse. Oh, I forgot to mention that I danced so much that the desk it fell inside. Desk. And we were about to write exams. How exactly do you explain that? I don't have an exam for me to write exams on because someone was dancing so much that it rakabovuka. Anyway, so we were like, hey guys, what do we do? So then we ran away. We ran away when we just went home. We're like, guys, tomorrow everyone is coming to school. Make sure if you don't come to school, we're gonna beat you up. That was the only threat that would make people shake. That would beat you up like we did the other girl at the gate. Thursday we dance. Friday. So there's this other friend of mine at the time, Amisha. I see the girl. I'm like, cool, why didn't you come to school yesterday? I'm actually laughing at her. Yesterday was the best. We had so much fun. We danced. We even sang your favorite song. Why didn't you come to school? So then, at our school, we would on Fridays we would sing the school song. Then we do the national pledge, national vision. Between the two, I forgot. I think it was the national pledge we would do. Tell me why we sang one verse on the school song. Then she was like, everyone stop singing. I want all the 2Ls to come sit in front of everyone. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Girl, you're cooked. You're cooked. The 2Ls, they went to then they had to like walk and go sit in front of everyone. The whole school was just looking at them. So like honestly, people they did whatever they were doing at assembly, but my mind was like, yeah, we're definitely gonna get suspended this time. There's no two ways about it. There's no way those guys can get into trouble and we are not in trouble. No, we're gonna get suspended. Then after everything, after assembly, they were like, 2Ks must also come. I'm like, yeah, you see, what I was thinking about the whole assembly just happened. And the 2Ks, we followed. Tangata Pusa. The 2Ks, they followed. And they're like, okay, so these two classes, you guys, you want to, what do you think you are in this school? What's so special about you? We want you to show us our certificates that make you guys think that what you do is okay. You must work on your future. This is a learning institution. In fact, who's the one who's causing all this commotion? There's always a ringleader. Who's the ringleader? Then they picked on this other girl. Then they picked on this other girl. You tell us who's the ringleader. That girl was always getting into trouble. She had like a pressing issue that she had gotten in trouble for like before. So then, ever since then, the headmistress knew her by name. They were like, "You come and tell us who's the ringleader." Then she was like, then she was like, "Ma'am, it's not me," because she knew that if she picked names, it was going to be a problem for her because we didn't like snitches. We would deal with snitches. And we were like, and the sister holies, they started saying, guys, taurai, guys, mention each other, please. Some of us, we are here to learn. We're just looking at them like, act normal, behave yourself. If you mention my name, if you mention my name, you'll see. So then, eventually, I don't really remember what happened. No, that girl, she pointed at someone. And the headmistress was like, who are you pointing at? Then she was like, guys, just stand up. So then others that stood up, then the others they remained seated. Then they're like, ha ha ha, guys, these are not the only people who make noise. Stand up now, just stand up, guys. Stop wasting ma'am's time. Ah, then they remained seated and they're like, ha, you don't sing Guardian, you don't sing Winky D in class. Stand up. So you want to waste my time? You guys, you see. Then they get to our class. They're like, "Ha, guys, you see what they're doing? Let's not do that. Let's just stand up. Those who knew that they were singing yesterday, let's just stand up." Ah, then we just stand up and one accord. Then they're like, "Oh, so you want to pretend to be people who know how to listen to instructions?" Okay. Then they're moved on to the next class. Then they're like, "Okay, considering that this is a big group, we can't suspend all of you. We can't suspend all of you. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna choose the most notorious." And I'm like, "Hey guys, no, I'm not notorious. I'm sorry. I'm not notorious. I'm not gonna volunteer to be notorious." Then others volunteered to be the most notorious. Ah, then they called their parents, and the parents were like, "Hmm, even here at home, she's also a problem, but you never see me calling you. Deal with it there." Imagine. Ah, it was a drama. Then the rest of us, they told us, pick papers. Imagine all that drama just for them to tell us to pick papers. So then, exam time. Exam time. Guys, I don't know what was happening at that school. Exam time. How we were writing exams. We were writing exams. So then, that happened on a Friday, right? Sunday, Monday, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're on the low. Exams, car. Tuesday, exams. Wednesday, exams. Thursday, exams. Tell me why before Friday something else happened. So we would go to town, right? So then there were other people that would walk like to Samora Michelle. They come with their drama. We get to school. We were late. I was actually stressed because I was writing a practical exam, and those exams were kind of like challenging for me. Maybe because I didn't study enough. Anyway, I get there. There's noise in the corridor. Why is there noise when we're writing exams? That's cool, cat. Anyway, so we get upstairs. We're rushing. We get upstairs. We see there's this other girl fighting, and the tall girl fighting, and the other girl they're fighting. So then there's the instigator. She's shouting, "Ha! You must beat her up. She must not get too familiar with you. Agatombokujairire. Hey, she should keep on doing it." Then she's being the person that is instigating. I'm asking her, what did she do? Oh, she was just walking with someone's boyfriend. Is that why you have the whole block surrounded, guys? Because she was walking with your boyfriend. That's cool, car. So then guess what happened? She's instigating. Beat her up, beat her up. She even forms a song. Ngaro, ngaro, ngaro. Yeah, people are singing. The tall one, she's like, the tall one, the way she was there, right? She was she was in a position where it looked like she was about to ref the fight. This one instigating, this one's refing. That the other one is forming a song. The other one is calling people, come and see, we are money, we are money. So then the principal, I swear that year, the principal was in trouble. 2019. She calls everyone, all the form twos to the main quad now. We go the main quad. And I'm like, guys, if you mention me today, I vow I'm gonna flip. What if you mention me today? I wasn't even here. I just got here. I wasn't a part of this squabble you guys are having. Huh? So what fascinated me about that, we used to pump and chunk our uniforms, like tie tuna our uniforms because they were so long. So we would tie them up and put on like fancy belts so that our uniforms were short. Tell me why this girl, when she was upstairs, her uniform was up to here. Now, when she was in front of the principal, her uniform was at the correct length. Because that woman, she didn't joke. She would confront you about it, then you'd be embarrassed. So, and then they just mentioned then when she was asked who was instigating this whole fight, she just mentioned that girl and the girl that was about to riff and the girl that was singing and the girl that was telling her that to not get familiar with her and stuff like that. I was like, oh, thank God. Now I can write my exam in peace, guys. I'm not involved in this shenanigan. As if that's not enough. Moving on. Moving on. What would happen during exam time was like people would finish at different times. And coincidentally, we would write exams at the same time. The other school would also write exams. So people would just finish school at random times. Then others would stay for like their other exams. So then, considering that we had lots of friends at the other school, right? We would just talk to them casually, talk. But then other girls didn't like it because they would say, "Oh, you're talking to my boyfriend," and I'm like, "Girl, you see me telling him to come talk to me. You better get your act together, please." So they would sort of like see it as if we're trying to like rage bait them. The next morning, as if what happened the day before wasn't enough. The next morning, these girls were coming for me and my friend. They're like, "So you guys, you think you're it? Tell me, why were you talking to that guy yesterday? Don't you know that he's my boyfriend?" So honestly, I'm just looking at these girls. I'm in shock, honestly. Tell me why, Chantel. She sees that these are a group of girls. They want to beat us up. Tell me why this girl. She puts her hand above her hip and she's like, "What do you want to do about it?" Saramanga mafungo doctor say, "Bro, you want us to get beat up?" Eventually, the girls were just looking at us. They were like, "Oh, you guys, you think you're scary? We'll beat you up." Then Chantal was like, "Beat us up." I'm looking at her like, "Bro, what do you mean beat us up?" Tell them to beat you up, not us. Then eventually they're like, "Oh, honestly, guys, it's not nice. Shamanisha Shnakunaka." I'm like, "Guys, we're just talking to them. Nothing deep." But we're in high school, it was a big deal, guys. Just walking with a boy, you would always find some girl claiming that, "Oh, you were walking with my boyfriend." It was honestly kind of annoying. Eventually we wrote our exams. Then after we wrote our exams, I don't know why that particular year they didn't have a demotion and promotion. So we're just like, since we ended our form 2, we'll continue next year, form 3 and form 4, because we would get um screened in form end of form 1 and end of form 2. Then you'll be in the same class for form 3 and form 4. So then eventually we just finished our exams. No, we didn't just finish our exams. Sorry. What happened was during our third term exams, like the last semester exams of form 2, we started singing and beating on desks again. Was that a good idea? No. Did we do it? Yes. So then that was like midday and we're beating on desks, guys. I don't know what was wrong with us. Something was definitely wrong with us. Something. So like continuing at midday, we are banging on desks, we're having the time of our life. So there was this other girl. She had a funny character. Not to say too much. I don't know how and why, but she just came and she's like, the headmistress says that those who are banging on desks should come to my office now. We're like, you tell her to come here if she wants the people that are banging on desks. Get there. I see people that are standing they're standing near the weather station. They're like, so I'm asking myself, people are not allowed to stand there. Why are those people there? Then I see The people that I was buying desks with yesterday. And I was with Tanaka that morning because we were late, so we got to school late. we we had a few rounds to run before they would like let us go. Because if you were late at that school, everything was just a punish. Everything you do, it was just a punishable offense. They'd make you run like 5 rounds, then you go to class. 5 rounds. Anyway, so after we ran our 5 rounds, I see, why are those people at the weather station? No one's ever allowed to go there. Then I see, it's Team Mafia is there. Why are you guys there? Then they're starting to code us. And I'm like, honestly, Tanaka, this time we get in trouble. Considering that last time they were saying, oh, DJT, DJT. You should just go. I don't know, run away. Shaika. Then I went, I get there. Then they're saying, guys have been punished. They say that we should go get buckets of water from the hostels and water where it says Roosevelt because there were plants that would spell out Roosevelt. Ah, Amy, guys, the hostels were far. Not to mention that there were 20-liter buckets. Then my friend's like, Ayewa, no. Guys, you just put them on your head. Monotsiga. So I were like, okay, we're just going with the flow, going with the flow. Guys, and I tell you that I almost cried that day after putting the bucket on my head. It was so heavy. I was like, I am never ever making noise ever again. Was that true? Of course I made more noise, but it was on the low, on the low. At least I would do it at the ground because I was like, these punishments, they're like getting a bit much. So then I were carrying the buckets, carrying the buckets, carrying the buckets. As soon when I was like 5 steps from where I was supposed to water, tell me why the bucket falls and splashes water everywhere, mud everywhere. So everywhere was full of mud and water. Honestly, for the rest of the day, people were just chilling. We were just quiet. Others were sleeping because they were like, we were sort of like traumatized from that punishment. Eventually, we got our reports. No, forgot to tell you about the handball. We would play handball, me and my friends. We go for matches. So I was a goalkeeper, so I would go for every match, no matter the age group or anything. I'll show you the pictures. Handball, handball was like so fun. Handball, yeah, in that kids. Then we would go with the bus. Sometimes we would mix with boys. It was fun. Sometimes they would starve us. Imagine going the whole day. They wouldn't even give you guys food. Yes, thank you guys for watching. But that's basically my second year of high school. I'll see you in the next videos. I tell you about my third year, fourth until the sixth, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.